this tutorial, we're going to create a program in JavaScript, okay, with the DOM events using the button, simple button, okay. So let us start. So DOM stands for what? Of course, we know that DOM is document, object, object, model. So we'll be using the events, just like the button, to manage our program. Okay, so we start first with a very simple program. Okay, let us do that. Start first with a doc type. Okay, HTML, and then we have here the HTML. Okay, let us provide a title. So let's say DOM. Okay, oops, this is what DOM events, and then let's fix this program first. And then we have here, okay, after this, what will happen? Of course, let's start. We will provide with a head. Okay, the purpose of this is to, put some let's say the CSS or headers. Okay, now let us provide the header right here. So we have here meta name equals to viewport. Okay, and then we have here content equals to width equals to, okay, width minus device. This is to scale the display of your page. And then we have install initial scale equals to 1.0. Okay, let's follow this. Well, later on, you can use the API right here, or you can use the framework of your CSS, just like using your Bootstrap and your www3 CSS. Okay, but for now we'll leave it that way. Now our target right here is to create the events, the simple events that we'll call the button in the ID. Okay, so what will happen? We need first to create our button, and then ID. Let's say bot1, and then we have here click one. Okay, so we have the click one right here, and then at the same time let us display our ID here using the DOM elements. Let's say we have here the ID equals to demo1. Okay, this is where we channel our output in this ID. So this ID will react with our JavaScript later on. Okay, let's do that. Now we'll create our JavaScript program here. So if you want to create your JavaScript program, always remember that you use script, and always remember that JavaScript should be up close in your program. Okay, what I mean up close is inside your program. So we have here the button ID, and at the same time, okay, start here with, let us put the body. Okay, so this is it. So we have here a body, sorry, then we put here the body. Okay, now what will happen again? We will create our function. Let's say function is, let's say we have here the function. We can use the normal function, but this time around we'll be using the DOM document. Okay, get element by ID. Then we have there let's say we have bot1. Okay, because we will place bot1 in the JavaScript. At the same time, we will use the addEventListener. So what's the purpose of the addEventListener? This is where you create a button that will handle the statements. At the same time, trigger the events. Okay, so that's the purpose of the addEventListener. Now let us continue. So what will happen right here? So addEventListener, and then we will use the click. So this is where we click the button, and then the name of the function. The name of the function is, like for example, my func. Okay, you can write the name of your function right here, but mine is, I will write to create my function. Let's say the function is check. Okay, so this is the name of my function. Okay, semicolon, and then we have already declared our what ID for the button, and we need to handle all the events inside this ID, and then we call the program to react in that ID. So function, let's say we have the function check. Okay, so as you can see, we have here a function check, and then after that, what will happen? So we need to create a program that will display any text inside this area. So we can say document, okay, that get, okay, we have it get element by ID, then demo one, then the output for that ID, okay, HTML equals to, okay, hello events. All right, that's it. That will be our program. Okay, so far this is a very basic program. So we start here with the body, okay, and then we use a simple what you call this functions and doom inside our script, and we declare our what, our check function, and we have the check function right here. Then we need to display the output in the demo using this output. So the demo is right here. When we trigger our event button, the button one, the bot one, automatically it will what, handle the statement of check function. So when we run the program, let us save first the program. Okay, save this. So the name of the program is job1. Okay, now let us run the code. So we have here the code. Let us wait. So when we run the code, okay, I will run the code right here. I will load it. Okay, file. Okay, let us wait. Okay, sorry for that. So file, C, then sign it, and then I have here job 1.html. Let us run the program. Let's check the program. Let's find the error. I don't know what happened. Okay, let us put this thing, all right, inside the head. It's part of the header. Okay, at the same time, we have to check this again, the code. Okay, let us create some difference. Let's check if the browser is sleeping or not. I don't know what happened, why, but again, I will rewrite this thing. Okay, this is to check. Okay, I will write this thing. All right, now I have here a script, and I will write this thing. Okay, so instead of calling the functions, I will immediately call the function instead of parameters. So document, let us check this thing. Document that get element, okay, by ID. Then we need to use what you call this, the bot one, of course, the button one, and then we call the addEventListener. Okay, I want to be sure with the spelling. Now let us put this parameter to click. Okay, and then I will use the function. Okay, this is what I mean. Now inside this function, well, of course, I need to start with my code. Okay, all right. So I need to start with my code right here. Oops, wait. So I will start with my code. Okay, and then I will put it right here. Okay, let's check. So now I changed this function to just to call this event. When I press the button, automatically it will go directly right here. Okay, let's check this thing. Okay, document dot get element by ID. Okay, the ID is demo1. Okay, let us produce the output. Inner HTML. Then we have here hello. Let us check. Okay, I want to be sure that you know, this is to avoid to the test delays. Okay, so if click the program, run the program, let us check again the program. Okay, then we have here, okay, let us load the program right here. Okay, let us check file. Oops. Okay, let us wait first. Okay, so I have here file 123, then okay, my directory, then jobs1.html. Let's run the program. Oops, something is wrong. Okay, the spelling is wrong. So we have here job1.html. Of course, we have here the code for that. Okay, let us first expand this thing. Okay, we have here. Now, this is the example. If I click this thing, okay, you have here the hello. Now let us check this thing. So I change the statement from calling the functions, and automatically we load the functions to react with our ID right at the top. But if I want to change this, okay, let us check. Okay, we will use the basic statement. Okay, how to do that? Let us borrow this statement. Okay, and then we will put it right here. Okay, now instead of using the function, okay, this is just like a callback function, but we will use the name of the function, check. Okay, and then we have here a check. Okay, the syntax is very simple. You have to infuse the click statement and of course the function, and then we use the semicolon, and then from there you need to write the name of the function. The name of the function is check. Okay, and then of course we need to follow this statement. Okay, we need to put the answer in demo 1. Okay, now if you compare the statement to the previous statement, well, at the top of that is we're using a function, and automatically we generate this output going to our ID. Okay, the demo 1. While here we of course we declare first that's the event listener, and we create the name of the function, and then we write the name of the function. Okay, so this is basic. All right, we click the program. Okay, we run the program. Okay, what will happen? So you need to enter, click, the same thing will happen. Okay, so that's how you write your program and how to attack the program in your Doom events. So in our Doom events, we are using the addEventListener here as our what methods to call the functions, at the same time to react the functions inside the button. Okay, so this is the button. So that's how we put the button inside our addEventListener. The addEventListener will handle the statements handled by the button. Okay, so if I change this click here now, okay, at the same time you can also change the properties here if you want. No, so if you save this, okay, what will happen? Let's go back. Okay, now when we load this again, click here. So we have here click here now. Okay, so we change now the text inside our button. Okay, that's it. Add again another Doom elements of your HTML. This time we need to ask the user to enter a data, and while you enter the data, it will display the data. Okay, so here we'll use what? For example, we have here input type equals to text. Well, of course, if you don't know what is text, well, this is part of your data type, okay, in HTML. So what's next? So we need to what? Put the name of the variable. Let's say the name of the variable is data x. Okay, so we have here the variable placeholder inside our text box. So we have here, okay, enter text. Okay, now as you can see, we have here the type, the name, the placeholder, and we need also to put our ID. So the ID will be the function from your JavaScript. Okay, so we will create first the ID at the bottom. But okay, this let's evade this error. Okay, we'll create our ID. What will be the name of the ID? The ID is, let's say, data text. Okay, that will be the ID. Now what will happen right here? So we need to create a program here to what? To produce our what you call this? Our output using this what? Text. At the same time calling the data x, and of course placing our answer using the ID. So let us write the function. Function, let's say input 1. Okay, so we have here input 1, and we need to put our ID here at the top. Let's say h2 ID equals to record 1. Okay, so we have here the ID for the record 1. Now okay, this is for the ID for the record one. Okay, that's it. Now this is our area where we need to produce our data. Okay, so we have to use the input one. What's next? Let's say document dot get element by ID. Then we need to use the record one. We need to produce the record here. Okay, this is where we put our HTML equals to. So from here we need to produce the output. Okay, produce the output right here. Okay, so the output would be, let's say what will be the output. Okay, I will check first that input ID at the top. So we have here input text name data x. Okay, so I will erase this first now. This is not part of the plan. Oops, sorry about that. I will only place the placeholder. At the same time I will of course add a parameter here or a statement. Okay, what will happen right here? I will add here the var x, or let's say var rec1 equals to document get element by ID. Okay, so var rec1 document get element by ID. So we need to use here the, let's say, what is the ID at the top? The ID is data text. Okay, so I will erase this thing. Okay, now what will happen here? Since I have this variable now, this variable, well, of course, it has a reference to this data text as part of the ID. Now I produce the output. Produce the output. Okay, and react to the ID of the ID here at the top. So we use the document that get element by ID again, and then we need to channel it in our record one. This is where we channel the output. This is where we get the text from the input here. Okay, so we need to channel here, right? Record one right here, record one point inner HTML equals to rec1. Okay, this will be the code. Okay, so when we run the program, what will happen? This program. Okay, please wait. We'll save this first. Okay, save this program and then go to our browser. Okay, let's check what will happen right here when we run the program. Okay, so our expectation here is every time that we type the text right here, well, of course, the ID of h2 will display this input text in this text box. But again, I think we have this problem. So let us fix first what is the problem. Okay, so I think we need to revisit again our statement using the input type text. So we have here the text, the ID data text. This is where the container where we get the input, and at the same time we need to add here the statement of your addEventListener. So we will use the addInput. The purpose of addInput is to get or fetch the data from the input type statement. So we have here addInput equals to, well, of course we need to put the functions of input1. So the purpose of the input1 is to ask the user for the input. So here I think we have, let us fix this first. Oops, this is wrong. We need to use the value right here. Now the explanation is very simple. The variable will directly go to the data text as our ID. Get whatever input coming from here, and then this value will serve as an input and then assign the value to rec1. At the same time, rec1 will be displayed using the channel of the h2, and of course in the h2 elements we have the ID of record1. So that's how it goes. Now when we save the program, let us run it again. Let's go back right here. Enter. When we type the code, that's it. So if I type my name, that's it. So that's how it works. Now you can even create your own document elements from in this box. Like for example, you can use what h1 style of, for example, style. Okay, let us enlarge this thing. Like for example, h1 style, oops, sorry, equals to color blue, and then hello world. So you can use that thing. Okay, maybe to say this is not safe because we are creating an unprotected type of coding. Okay, so we need really to enhance our coding and avoid the elements injection. Okay, that's how you do it. Now let's go back to our program. Okay, that's how you do it. Okay, so we have two functions right here. On the first function, of course, we have here the first function. The first function is to create the statement that will print the hello world once we click the button. Okay, where's that button? So we have here the button. So this button will serve as an ID wherein we channel it by means of our what event listener. If we trigger this click and then we call this a function that will produce the output. It's very simple. In the next function, we have the input one. This input one will first we need first to inject the variable rec1, and then we assign this rec1 to a data point text, a data underscore text with value. This is the input coming from our statement here. This is the DOM elements. So this data text will serve as our container where we fetch the value from that input text and then put it here in the record one as what a rec1 point statement. So please don't forget to share and subscribe in this channel, and we'll expect that more videos will come out. Thank you so much.